nothing will happen until we take action.
David Ratner, again from Hiya, said, quote, "We're succeeding in defending against known attacks," something we just mentioned, "and we are not succeeding in becoming proactive. Bad actors are innovating and we're reacting. We need more proactive approaches that are capable of stopping attacks, not just detecting them." Now, this is sort of an ongoing theme we've discussed on many shows here. And I want to also add Daniel Sella's comment from Spiral. "The groups involved in developing and operating fileless malware, worms, and ransomware are also typically more mature and less amateur than the adware developer." So what we're hearing is there's essentially, from what I understand, Aviv, there's the sort of the base level of attacks, like the moron attacks or the attacks from the dumb attacks, if you will. And then there's attacks that are becoming more targeted, more sophisticated, taking advantage of advanced capabilities here. Am I gathering this correctly?
Yes, I think that it used to be, what we were called, it's kind of a script kiddies, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And I think that as everything got faster today, so the new techniques are being published on GitHub. So all those things that maybe only the targeted attack were using and maybe keeping for themselves a few months, now within days or weeks, it's being out there on GitHub, and someone actually finding that technique, and it's being adopted way, way faster. And that's why just detection won't be enough. So having a proactive approach, like David Ratner has mentioned, I think this is what we need to look for, and not just respond, not just react. As we mentioned, the next gen AV or EDR, which EDR, that's we need to detect and remediate. It's still responding. We need to take a way different approach. And I think such approaches, of course, exist in the market. So we need to look into that.
Steve?
So I think what I want to say here is we actually have two different problems, right? What Daniel's talking about, and when it's fileless, when it's Trojan, when it's the rest of that stuff, is that is still killing us. Killed us 10 years ago, still killing us now. Targeted attack. And that's where we're talking about proactive defense. What do we do for defense in depth? How do we do more about finding when it's coming in and moving laterally? Malicious attack, okay? And that is one whole theme, and we're talking about what we do. But what's interesting about what David said on the first part is, but the other thing is it's not just defend anymore, right? When you look at the malicious malware, that conversation used to be blocking, and we're pretty good at 98%. But now the business is demanding that we don't just block it, but we want to sanitize it and kind of let it through because it has very legitimate business value. That yesterday we threw it away. That's lost dollars. That's business revenue that we were throwing away. And now that we're trying to enable the business, and because of cost center, that's money that security is now making for the business. And so we're having to now figure out how we proactively remove and then let it through. And so we're now tackling the problem of smart people and defense in depth, but having to revisit a problem we also thought we solved because the business has demands and we want to be able to increase that profit.
Steve, you raised a very good point. I think that sanitizing content on its way in, it's a great approach when you want to allow the business to flow and you're stepping away from the guesswork of whether this is bad or suspicious. So allowing the good stuff go in, allowing the documents, allowing the files, allowing the content, even think about uploading that content to your business partner portal. So you need to get those documents, you need to get that content. And instead of trying to stop it, guess it, quarantine it, maybe send it to a sandbox, you want to have the business flowing now. So having that approach of sanitizing the content and delivering that immediately, I think that's a way healthier approach business-wise and security-wise.
And I will just point out to our audience who is not aware of Votiro, this is what you do. This very different approach of just not guessing, but sanitizing everything.
And I want to riff on that. And I know you want to move on, but I don't, which was 3 years ago. If I'd had this conversation with this very influential body here, I would have been in a different camp and said, no way. Why would I possibly accept the risk of letting malicious stuff through just because there was some potential business content? But the last 24 months with digital transformation and the way the business is demanding to be able to compete, This is one of those cases where I've changed my mind. And so why I want to take a moment is it's a new business demand that's being placed on security organizations that we are obligated to respond to, and not just being able to take a historical approach about throw away if it's bad and tough on the business. And so it's not so much that, as you had said, Votiro has the ability, so much as I want to call out the fact that it's an opportunity for us as security practitioners and CISOs to move our own maturation and thinking from one of secure the company to enable the business.